Hi everyone, I'm Rick Beato, and today's Everything Music. It's What Makes This Song Great, episode 13. The band today is Alice in Chains, and the song is Them Bones. Let's get started. I've done videos of Pearl Jam, Nirvana, and Soundgarden, and then the fourth band that really represents the Seattle sound is Alice in Chains. Them Bones is the first song from the album Dirt, which was released in 1992. I specifically remember when I first put on the CD that since this is the first track, the scream that's at the beginning made me jump because it's really jolting. The chord that's being played with the scream when he goes, ah, it's really powerful. When I went to play the song this morning, I looked at the editor's notes in iTunes. And it was interesting. I'll read it for you. It says, Alice in Chains were the darkest group to emerge from the grunge explosion in the early 90s. When other groups balanced their moody extremes with pop hooks, Nirvana, or anthemic riffs, Pearl Jam and Soundgarden, singer Lane Staley eventually died at the hands of addiction, and Dirt remains one of the most disturbing looks at a wasted life and is one long slide down to the bottom of Dante's Inferno. This is the best part, though. It's frightening in its intensity and its mastery of a world Black Sabbath once merely suggested. So let's talk about what makes Alice in Chains great. One of the things is the harmony parts. They have a unique way of singing harmonies that is unlike any other band. The next thing are the types of chord progressions that they use. This tune in particular is one of the only singles I can think of that uses 4 chromatic chords in a row. These are literally 4 chromatic chords ascending. So this tune is in drop D down a half step. So drop C sharp or drop D flat, and it starts. When it starts, it actually starts with a D flat 7 sharp 9. And then when it comes in full on, it's... Let's take a listen. We have those screams with a long echo. The guitar tones, though, are really brutal sounding. They're really great sounds. There was a really interesting article by Dave Jordan in EQ magazine back around 2000 where he talks about this record and the guitar sounds and kind of his approach to doing them and using multiple amplifiers, things like that. But check out the guitar sounds here by themselves. Those guitars are so heavy. Now, the tuning of the tune, the other thing that you may not notice from listening to it is the bass part. Mike Starr's bass part on here has a flange on it. So you notice in the bass that when he starts the pattern, then he plays that flat 7. He plays the B there. Listen to it again. So he alternates the tonic and the flat 7, which really give it a blues flavor. Now the drums, this is Sean Kinney playing. The drums go right along with the guitar riff, but that double kick pattern there actually throws the rhythm off a little bit and makes it more interesting, I think. For those of you rock producers out there, here's a sample of the snare. Okay, let's listen to the harmony parts here in the verse. I believe them bones are me. So you'll notice that they like to use a lot of perfect fourth intervals for their harmony parts. Let me show you here on the piano. So the harmonies between Lane and Jerry are the notes D flat and A flat. So D flat is the top note, which is the root of the chord, and the A flat is below that, a perfect fourth below. And that is the 5th of the chord. So you get the 5th and the root. So in the second chord, those 2 notes that are holding over become the sharp 4 and the major 7. So that's a D major 7 sharp 4. The third chord that they hang over becomes an E flat 7 sus4. So you've got the A flat as the sus4 and the D flat as the flat 7. And then you have the third of an E major chord, because the third chord is E, so it's the third and the sixth. So you have an E major 6 chord. So one of the reasons that this works so well is because those two notes work perfectly over all 4 chords. I'll just play them again in order. It's actually much more complex than most people realize. Let's listen to the guitars and harmonies together. Let's talk about the lyrics here. The lyrics in the song are very dark. They're about mortality. The verse begins, "I believe them bones are me. Some say we're born into the grave." That's the verse. And then the chorus, "I feel so alone. Gotta end up a big old pile of them bones." If you know about Layne Staley's untimely and very sad death, these lyrics have even more meaning.
The lead singer of the rock band Alice in Chains has been found dead in his Seattle home.
For those of you that don't know about the end of Layne Staley's life, he fought heroin addiction for years and eventually succumbed to it on April 5th, 2002. Very, very sad story about it that is really hard to believe. Let me play the guitars for you. It begins on an A power chord and it goes A to A flat, then B to B flat. Once again, really chromatic. A flat, B, B flat, but there's a little lick in the middle of it, as you can hear.
I feel so alone, gonna end up a big old pile of them bones.
We have a bunch more of these perfect fourth intervals in here, that Alice in Chains sound. Let's check it out on the piano. So it starts out on the A chord on C sharp with a higher part up on G sharp. So it gives you the major third and the major 7. So it's, and then on the A flat chord it goes. So it's A flat 7, A flat sus4 and it ends up on a third here, a minor third, between the 5th and the flat 7 of A flat. Then it goes up to B, and the melody and harmony go to E and G sharp, and you've got the B power chord there. Almost sounds like an E add 9 in inversion with the 5th and the bass. But then it gets into this pentatonic. And then it goes down to B flat. Then it ends on the E and G sharp when it goes back to the riff. So after the second chorus, we have the guitar solo. So here it is with the rhythm backing. So halfway through the solo, you hear this double track come in. The second half of it is with a wah-wah. Kind of the untightness of it, the grunge of this guitar solo is really reminiscent to me of Jimmy Page. And that, I don't want to say sloppiness, but that out of control sound that you hear in the early 70s, late 60s, early 70s. So after the solo, it returns to the third verse, which is kind of unusual. This is a song that's not even 3 minutes long, and it has 3 verses. So it goes through that verse. And then we come to the last chorus. And it just does a repeat on it. 3 times. And then the ending. That's all for now. Please subscribe here to my Everything Music YouTube channel. If you're interested in the Beato book, you can go to my website at www.rickbeato.com and find it there. Thanks for watching.